So people, let's talk a little bit about Synastry. I love Synastry. It's definitely one of my favorites to do, because I'm looking at how two charts are expressing themselves but merged together, how the planets are interacting with each other. When you're doing Synastry readings, it's important that you look at both charts individually to see how these people are as individuals. Then you put the charts on top of each other and you look to see how they're aspecting the planets each other, right? So this is crazy, because a lot of people that book readings with me, they don't always tell me who they are or who their partners are, or if they're even a partner. But I guarantee, right, when I do the reading, I can see whether they're together or they're not. It's pretty clear because the charts will tell me. Now, Synastry readings can be done for adults and their children, for mothers, for work colleagues, working relationships, you know, that's very important. Friendships, not just relationships, but most of my clients are, it is for relationships. A lot of people always ask, so what are really good positions in Synastry to look out for? In Synastry, we have to look at the personal positions, and I like to focus on the sun, okay? The sun in particular houses will always show me the themes of your relationship. So where I like to see the sun, I'm not gonna lie, I like to see a 12th house sun. I like to see that in Synastry because it shows, think about the sun, people, please. Think of the sun as a big ball of gas. It lights up the house that it's in. The 12th house is a dark room. It's like, it's black, you can't see nothing in there. So if someone's sun is in your 12th house, they're bringing light to that area. And this house is a bit of a wound for a lot of people. So I'm going to give you some information, right? So I've got Taurus in my 12th house. And every Taurus, particularly men that I've met, family members, they make me feel really bad. They do hurt me. And they hurt me, but I see why after. I see why. It's like I had to go through the hurt to now become consciously aware. Does that make sense? I have a brother, and his sun, his Mars, his moon, Mercury all fall into my 12th house. And he was probably one of the first men to really hurt me growing up. And I kind of I understand now. So I can't take it as though, oh, you purposely hurt me. It's more so I understand what you did. I understand why it was done. So now as an adult, I'm now rectifying the wounds. So what I like about it now is because my brother's made me consciously aware of those issues, I've now got to put it into play to fix it. But I'm forever grateful that he cussed me the fuck out and said those things to me, because now I can be the better version of me, okay? That's why I like sun in the 12th house. When the sun is in the 1st house, I do like it because it highlights heavy, you know, the themes of your relationship. The 1st house, your ascendant, is going to be partial of your identity. So when someone's sun sits on your ascendant, it's showing me that, oh wow, you know, that sun person is bringing out the qualities of your ascendant. So for example, my partner's sun sits on my ascendant, and our relationship is very, very Gemini. Mercury, shall I say. And Mercury is constantly here and there and everywhere. It's never ever static. So we are always busy. We've never just sat down and done nothing all day. It's impossible. We've never done that. Also, we're constantly communicating. We value communication. And I like the sun being there because he's bringing out those Gemini qualities within me. I also like to see the sun in the second house. The second house is the house of Taurus initially, and Taurus rules Venus, and second house is your stability, your security, your finances. So when someone's sun is positioned in your second house, they show you a lot to do with how to be financially secure. Are you thinking ahead, honey? Are you thinking about investing money? You shouldn't put it into that. You should put it into this. They're gonna make you feel very secure in your life. My second house has Cancer in it. How do I feel about Cancers? I think, oh my God, yes. My first ever boyfriend was a Cancer sun, Cancer moon. He was a Cancer stellium, and he sat all in my second house. And it was crazy because he was talking about marriage, he was talking about, you know, having kids. I was not at that. I'm a Capricorn moon, so back then I was like, nah, this is just too much, and I had to break it off with him. Now he's married, he's got kids, he's doing his thing, you know. I've not spoken to him for years, but the last time I spoke to him must have been about 5 years or so ago, you know. But yeah, like, Cancer is all about, or second house, very similar, Taurus to Cancer, very similar. And you know, that house, those people will want to feel, they want you to be very comfortable. So what makes me feel secure? He couldn't offer that to me, and as much as he wanted to, he couldn't offer it to me because of where I was at the time in my life. But my point is, second house people, or second house relationships as well, how to make money together. That's another really good aspect the sun brings here. The sun person will help you to find out other ways to make money. I don't necessarily like sun in the third house, not really. This is actually a good position for friendships, really good long-term friendships when the sun is in the third house. Romantically, not so much. This is the house of Gemini. Gemini is all about communication, you know. It's not the most romantic position, and I see it a lot in like someone who has a crush on someone, but they have a crush because they've been friends with this person for such a long time. And what happens in this particular position is the sun is bringing lots of communication to the house person. So it's like, yeah, I just found out that XYZ is dating XYZ, and they're with this and this person, that person, but texting all day, on Instagram with each other all day. Like, there's a lot to do with social media. There's a lot to do with reading books, sharing books and interests. A lot of interest comes through this house as well. You know, sharing something good. Like, let's say you might be someone who really enjoys poetry, and that person may also show poetry as an interest. And you guys go out to poetry clubs, jazz nights, you know, your interests are together. And that's why I say it's a very good position for long-term friendship. May not be so much for romantic relationships. When the sun is in the fourth house, I've had this a good couple times. This is a really nice position. It is. It's not the most romantic, but it's a comfortable, it's comfortable. So imagine you're in a house, you know, you're home, and you're the house person, right? So you're in a house, comfortable at home, and the sun person, sun who sits in your fourth house, comes through the door. They put their key through the front door. That makes you feel, oh, they're home at last, they're home and they're safe. Oh, I'm so happy they're so safe now. Like, I can survive, I can live. There's the smallest little things that make you feel comfortable. You guys can sit in the house, and the thing is, by the way, as long as Mars is not an aspect here in any way, shape or form, you guys can sit in the house all day, all night, tomorrow, next week, and just binge watch Netflix series. Can cook together, can eat together, can just have fun in the house. Everything is happy in this environment. And I remember, because I had this with my ex-boyfriend, And we'd be so happy laughing all day at home, like just laughing with each other. I remember one specific time when God, someone got married, someone in the royal family got married. I forgot who it was, Prince Charles's wife or whatever, not Camilla, the other one. Anyway, she got married and it was a national holiday, and like we just stayed in the house watching it, you know, laughing and talking. It was amazing. I will never forget that day. And the second he left the house, arguments. The second he left, we had arguments. And we had Mars in the 3rd house, so yeah, we had arguments whenever he left the house. But we was happy in that 4th house, really happy. It's a nice position for 2 people. And by the way, that sun person will start to bring ways in which to make you feel comfortable at home. My ex bought me a bed. He bought my chest of drawers, you know, he bought furniture. Venus will also do that, will make you feel very comfortable. Like, no, babe, you haven't got that. Don't worry, I'll get it for you. I'll make sure that we're good here. Now, when we've got God, sun in the 5th house, honey. Whew. This is one of those positions that I've had a lot. Look at the sun that's in your 5th house. My 5th house is ruled by Virgo. And I've got Libra all up in there, man, like all up in that 5th house. And a lot of the people I've had situationships with fall into this house. Like it's crazy. And you know, the 5th house is the house of casual sex, flings, it's romance, it's the part before dating in a relationship. Like the 7th house, it's before that. So you gotta think about it, like whether they have their moon, their sun, their Venus, their Mars in your 7th house, you're likely to have sex pretty early, okay? And the sex will be really good. And it will almost seem like, damn, I want to give them a kid, man. I want to have a child with this person. Oh my God, I really like them. There is so much to do with kids here as well. So much to do with kids. And when you have this energy, and one of my friends actually, she was like, oh honey, you know, I want to be taken more seriously. What do I do? You know, I keep on sleeping with these guys because they have some sort of 5th house energy on your synastry. That's why you keep on sleeping with them. This is a very important house. It's really important because this is the house of all-round fun. So when someone's sun, okay, they're bringing some fun into your 5th house. They're bringing light into there. When you guys go out on dates or just hang out or whatever, oh my God, it feels like I've needed this guy to just cheer me up. I feel like I needed to have this break. I feel much better. They're bringing that fun and that edge that you need to have. And there was a video I watched, God, like this was on Facebook years ago, of this older couple. They were probably in like their 50s or 60s, and they were on a cruise. And there was someone sitting opposite them who was doing something stupid, and they had the phone literally filming themselves like this. But it was so funny to watch that these 2 older people were so childish. They were so childish, but they were having fun together. When I see a 5th house sun in synastry, I see, these people are gonna have fun for a long time. The sex will be boom, but not just that, they will have so much fun together. It's very important for 5th house synastry, you know. Now, when it comes to your sun, someone's sun falling into your 6th house, I've also had this, okay? The 6th house is the original house of Virgo, and Virgo rules Mercury. This is the house of your daily routines, your employment, your health, your well-being. So someone's sun in this house, I'm already sighing because I can feel the energy just being heavy, okay? Tomorrow is Virgo season. I just feel the comments on YouTube just about to come. Every single Virgo season, people get so intense and uptight about everything, but it has to be voiced on YouTube. This is just how it is. Anyway, when someone's sun sits into your 6th house, they want to bring stability. But when I say stability, what they view as stability, okay? They're going to bring structure, practicality into your 6th house, okay? So think about how you do things on a daily basis, how you brush your teeth, where you leave your toothbrush when you're finished with it, how you change your bed sheets, how you change your bed sheets. Yes, people, this is a thing. You know, I've been changing my bed sheets the same for years. I've never had any issues or struggles. I date a 6th house person. Well, actually, no, you should do it this way. It's much easier. Try it this way. No, you shouldn't brush your teeth like that. It's wrong that way. No, you shouldn't cook like that. It's unhealthy that way. What? Everything that 6th house, that sun does, right? They will tell you what to do, how the fuck to do it. It's fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous, right? But they're highlighting the areas that you may need a bit of help on. Not gonna lie, you might need a bit of, you know, change, and that is okay. Sometimes it just depends on how they are addressing you with these changes. But you know, there's just a lot to do with structure. And also, this is a good synastry for someone who you work with. I've seen a lot of these for working relationships with people, and it creates a very close bond with your employee. And also, God, not just that, you know, someone who I work with, her moon sits in my 6th house and her Venus, and we work very, very well together, really well together. And also, my Pluto sits in her 6th house, her Pluto's in my 6th house. We've got the same, very similar charts anyway, but you know, it creates a really good working environment. But not only that, you know, they will highlight the areas that you should work on when it comes to your health. Because they want you to be perfect. They actually do. They want you to be a better version of yourself. And they see the possibilities. They see more in you. And you've got to recognize that they see the potential. So you've got to recognize, okay, this person is trying, you know, let me just try. Meet them halfway. So it's not the most romantic position, but it's a very grinding position to have in your synastry, because you've got to recognize that this person is going to be coming at you with some shit. Now, the sun in the 7th house. 7th house is the house of relationships, bonds, titles, marriages, okay? And this is actually, and also business relationships. This is a fantastic position for the sun to be in, because again, the sun is a big ball of gas, and the sun is highlighting this area of your relationship. So the sun person tends to be someone who brings all sorts of partner, that can bring a partnership your way, that you can gain from. So when I say partnership, they're showing that, okay, I can actually work with this person. So I've dated someone as well, a Libra rising, where my sun fell into his 7th house. And it was a bit mad because, like, we were in the 5th house stages, right? We were in the 5th house stages, but you know, he would say things that would make me feel like, okay, let me try and help him get his brand up and going. And he was starting YouTube and, you know, trying to get his Instagram subscribers or followers up, and I'm just talking him through the process of what to do. And like that, we worked very, very well together, because it shows that you can work with this person, but they become a partner. So there can also be talking business, business arrangements. You know, I hooked him up with some other networks and stuff, people hooking you up. And it's crazy because also I have Sag in my 7th house. Every single Sagittarius male, woman, human entity that has come my way has hooked me up with some shit. Like, you know, I like working with them. I love working with these people, with 7th house people, because they bring you so much. This is the house of relationships as well. This is actually the house where a lot of us really don't like our descendant signs in people, because it's the opposite house of the ascendant. So the opposite house is literally like, oh, I don't know much about you, but I think I might, you know, I might just try and see how things go. But you don't see yourself in them. But the whole purpose is to learn from them. Okay, they're going to show us so much about the sides to us that we haven't even learned about yet. So they're very beneficial, and they will likely to show that they always want the best for you. Anyway, they want the best for you as they sit in your 7th house. The 8th house, which is what I've currently got right now. I am in my partner's 8th house, and I feel like he knows exactly what the hell he's fucking doing. Let me tell you this now. He knows what he's doing. I know he's like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I know he fucking sees this shit. Me and my partner have a lot of Pluto and Saturn themes in our relationships. And the 8th house is the house of Scorpio. Scorpio rules Pluto. The 8th house is sex, intimacy, death, transformation, the rebirth, crisis, trauma, joint resources, inheritance, taboo subjects. Okay? So it shows that that sun person is bringing a lot towards the house person. And when I think of this house, I think of the money. I can't lie. This house, our relationship, there's a lot to do with our relationship and money here. And my partner, he has a 2nd house stellium. So he's all about me and my money. This is my money. This is all mine. But the 8th house is about, this is our money collected together. So now that we're in a relationship, I'm showing him that your money is also, your money is your money, okay? But we have to have our money together. Because my money is my money, but we've got to have our money. This is the house of joint resources. So we have to do a lot of working together. That sun person is bringing transformation into the house person. How is that house person going to transform here? They're going to benefit a lot as well, because the sun person is bringing their finances. Yeah, this is the house of other people's resources. That sun person is bringing their finances towards you to help you to make a investment. Okay, but both people can definitely benefit here. But there's a massive transformation in your relationship. You know, your relationship will have transforming themes. Sex is also a very big deal for 8th house and Synastry. You tend to see a sexual connection almost immediately, okay? And there can also be intense sex straight away. Like, you can just feel that person's like sexual expression, like from across the room. Like, you just want to rip their clothes off. And there's a lot to do with intense, hot, steamy sex here. And you know, you both or one of your partners may be extremely sexually expressive, and there will be some sort of new sexual experience that you're likely to try that you ain't never done before. Like, again, sexually, your sexual expression transforms through this house. Sexual expression transforms through this house. Okay, we can stop there. When it comes to the 9th house is the house of higher learning, foreign lands, languages, culture, belief system. And this is one where my son has fallen into a lot of 9th house men. And these men, it's a bit annoying for me, because I find myself always teaching. Like, the 9th house is the house of higher learning, foreign lands, languages, cultures, belief systems, travel. And these men will look up to me like, honey, like, I wish I could do what you do, or show me how you do this, honey, or can you do that for me, or can you do this? And I'm just like, yeah, okay, I'll show you, you know, it's no big deal. But I find myself preaching so much more to these men. It's not the most romantic position either. It's more so, it's a gain. So the house person is gaining a lot from the sun person. The house person is gaining a lot of knowledge. The sun person is dropping this knowledge, right? But the sun person wants you to take it on board. Like, please listen to what I'm saying. You know, we're talking from a higher, wiser position. Like, listen to what I've got to say, because this can contribute to your life changing. Or I remember I dated this guy, and he had a child, and the child's mother wasn't allowing him to see the child. And this is something that you hear about and see about all the time. So I said, just go down the legal route. I said to him, put £200 away every month and go down the legal route over the next couple months when you got the money, and go from there. You can't do anything about it right now because she's still being very funny with you. So just try another option, but you've got to be consistent with your money. You've got to be consistent. Now, he's got Jupiter in his 12th house, so he's not very good with money, you know. So that just ended up fucking up. Didn't end up getting what he wanted to get. And again, there's that sense of disappointment, because when we're speaking to you guys, anyone that's a sun in someone's 9th house, we're speaking from knowledge and wisdom. And we want to guide you, like, we want to help you out. So appreciate that, you know. And you know, like, for me, I just feel like I really want to date somebody who's going to kind of guide me, in a sense, like take me somewhere. When my son's been in someone's 9th house, I'm guiding them, and I'm guiding them to a place of spirituality. I've brought on so much guys into astrology. You know, when my son's in their 9th house, you know, I've taught them about all different parts of psychology and philosophy. And it's crazy because that's what we do. But there's kind of like a mentoring vibe that I would prefer to see that in a teacher and student relationship rather than a romantic relationship. When someone's sun is positioned in your 10th house, this is a very... It's not a romantic place, I'm not gonna lie. When I see it in Synastry, I'm already like, oh, because I can see how much pressure that poor house person has with this position. I'm not gonna lie. So one of my friends has this with her partner, and she is the sun and the moon person. She's got sun and moon in her partner's 10th house, and I feel so sad for the guy because they are always arguing. But they're arguing a lot about her having these expectations of him. Now, 10th house is the house of Capricorn, and Capricorn rules Saturn. It's rules, regulations, restrictions, routines, responsibilities, okay? It is one of those positions, yeah, that is very, very uncomfortable to date, because you've got someone restricting your career ideas, telling you where you need to be in your career, okay, and also wanting to transform your reputation or how you are recognized to others. And I remember when she first started dating him, she did not send me a picture of him, not yet, but when she was with him for a little while, she sent me before and after. She goes, look at how he used to dress when I met him to how he dresses now. I was laughing heavy. I was laughing because I was like, yeah, 10th house sun and moon, but yeah, I was like, yeah. How that person, the house person, because the 10th house is your public image, and it's always going to be how you want to be perceived, okay? So when someone's sun comes into the 10th house, which is the old man, okay, it's the old man, it's the authoritative figure. They're coming in, and they're coming in saying, look, man, we've got to change all of this. This needs to be changed. I'm not happy with all of that. You know, we've got to put a new coat on, you know, new shoes, a whole new outfit. Everything's got to change. But it's not just that. It's, I want to make sure that the person that I'm with looks like me, looks good like me, okay? I want to make sure that they're on my level. And I'm going to nitpick at all of the little minor things, very similar to the 6th house as well, okay? I'm going to nitpick at all of the minor little things that you do to enforce or encourage some type of change within you. It's not the most, and I see this more so in like a managerial and a employee position, someone that's in authority, okay, father and son position, because the sun person is trying, it looks at it as the sun is offering the house guidance to better off their career or their public image or how they look, you know. And sometimes a house person may look up to the sun person as, yes, I appreciate you giving me this advice so I can be the best version of me, I can look better, I can dress better, I can have a better job, you know. It does all of those things, but I see a lot of it, I see more of it where people don't like, especially if it's someone, bearing in mind, especially if it is someone who doesn't like the house person, doesn't like to be told what to do. So for example, like me, I've got Aquarius on my midhaven, my Mars is in Aquarius, I'm an Aries sun. I got Pluto as well, Pluto in the 10th house, I've got Pluto in my 6th house. I don't like being told what to do or how to do things by no one. So if I dated a sun person, and what's in my 10th house? Aquarius sun? Nah, I've tried to date Aquarians a lot, but they try me. Nah. Now let's finish up on the 11th house, okay? I quite like this position. I'm not gonna lie, I quite like it. The 11th house is the house of Aquarius, and Aquarius rules Uranus. The 11th house is your social circles, organizations, networks. It is the house of your groups of friends, okay? And usually when someone's sun falls in there, you see a long-term friendship. You know, you see meeting people through or meeting your partner through your social circles. And when I say communities as well, I'm going to give you the example, because this is the easiest example to use. Think of the LGBT community, okay? It's a community, okay? And you're either in the community or you're not in it. And you see, when you've got an 11th house sun, someone's sun falls in your 11th house, you may meet that person through the community that you're in, through going to meetings, organizations, different particular parties. You know, there will be something about you guys sharing a particular community that brings you together. And my Venus is in my 11th house, and I used to make a lot of money. I used to be associated with a particular group of people, and I used to make a lot of money with these people as well. And the sun being in there, there's going to be a link towards you and that organization. And I like it because it stems from a meaningful, it creates a foundation, this position. And that's why I like it, because, you know, it can show a relationship that started off as a friendship. When the sun is in the 5th house as well, yeah, the 5th house is a house of fun. And all of the people that I've met, which will be Libras, Libra moons, Venus, Libra, whatever, even Virgo, they all fall into my 5th house. I've met them whilst I've been out turning up, partying, drinking, going to my, listen, that is, and I would have also met them drunk as well. And it's crazy, like with the 11th house, I actually met a guy years and years ago, and his sun fell into my 11th house, and how we met was actually at a party, but this party was filled with other creatives. So again, it's about the networks here. And you know, we definitely started off as we had a fling, right? But we turned into really good friends, you know. So this house definitely does have a foundation. So when you are reading charts, you have to look to see where the sun is, because the sun is going to bring light towards that area of your relationship. So I hope you guys have thoroughly enjoyed it, people. I'll see you guys on the next one.